The Oka crisis was a land dispute between the Mohawk Nation of Kanawake and the town of Oka, Quebec in 1990. The Mohawk people were protesting the expansion of a golf course and luxury housing development on their traditional land. The dispute escalated into a 78-day armed standoff between the Mohawk warriors and the Quebec provincial police, and eventually the Canadian Armed Forces. The Oka crisis was a pivotal moment in Canadian history, as it sparked a nationwide movement for Indigenous rights and self-determination. It brought to light the long-standing issues of land rights and sovereignty that had been ignored for centuries. 25 years later, the conflict is still relevant today. In 2015, the Government of Canada issued a formal apology to the Mohawk community of Kanawake for the events of the Oka crisis. In 2016, the province of Quebec released the report Revisiting Oka, a reflection on the crisis, which outlined the history of the events and put forward recommendations for reconciliation. The report was a long-awaited recognition of the Mohawk people's rights and the injustices that had been done to them. It called for the government to acknowledge the Mohawks' right to self-determination and to respect their land rights. It also recommended the creation of a joint committee to investigate unresolved land claims and the implementation of a land claims process that would be negotiated between the Mohawk Nation and the government. The report was welcomed by the Kanawake community as a positive step towards reconciliation. However, it is only the beginning of a long process of healing and rebuilding. The Mohawk people are still struggling to have their land rights and sovereignty recognized, and they continue to face systemic racism and discrimination. The Oka crisis remains an important reminder of the injustices that Indigenous people in Canada have endured, and of the need for reconciliation and respect for Indigenous rights. The report Revisiting Oka is a step in the right direction, and it is hoped that it will lead to meaningful and lasting change.